Xavier Wells. 18 years old, gone too soon. Mississippi, y'all got some explaining to do. Mississippi, need to release that report. Low down, dirty ass Mississippi. What you hiding? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? Talk. I pray the family get a real answers. And no, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today. Mississippi, the Most High gonna really deal with you. July 4th lights, boat ride with the crew. Young King Nolan chasing dreams, Ocean Springs through and through. Horn Island called his name, he relaxing in the blue. 2 days later found on the sand. What happened to you? Independent autopsy dropped, but it's undetermined. Red mark on the back of the head, neck structures missing. Absurd. State sitting quiet, toxicology on the shelf. Family screaming for truth, but y'all protecting yourself. Nolan was a star athlete with a future bright. Now his mama crying every single night. Golden trip turned nightmare. Questions in the air. Who was on that island? Why the silence there? Mississippi, need to release that report. Low down, dirty ass Mississippi. What you hide? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? Talk. I pray the family get real answers. And no, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today. Mississippi, the Most High gonna really deal with you. Grand jury waiting, but the people still fighting. No severe trauma, they say, but the story don't add up clean. Waves whispering secrets, covering up the scheme. Oh, young black man gone, another one in the South. History repeating, time to open your mouth. What you hiding in them files? Why the delay? Transparency dying, why the family pray? Nolan's light was shining, future snatched away. Now the whole world watching what Mississippi say. We marching, we posting, we demanding justice loud for every mother losing sons behind that murky cloud. Oh.
I pray the family get real answers.
No more games, no more lies.
No more games, no more lies.
Nolan deserved better, the truth never dies. From the island to the courtroom, we standing tall. Mississippi,
Your reckoning,
gon' come.
one and all.
Finding all. Mississippi, need to release that report. Release it now, release it now, release it now. Need to release that report. Mississippi, what you hiding? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? I pray the family get a real answer. No, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today, not today. Mississippi, Most High gonna really deal with you. For Nolan Wells, we won't go away. Release the report. Justice now.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your Daily Vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. All right, so let's get ready to get back into it. Everybody hit that like button. All right, hello, Cherokee Descendant Dale. Blessed, the beautiful is here. All right, 504 Nola, Reggie. Let's get into it. Gregory, Andrea. All right, Mr. Elevation, Queen of Mona Huey. Desmond is here. MW4T is here. All right. Likes up. I see you, Didi in Dallas. Okay, 57 Beige Fox. KQB Fife is here. Aqua Girl Rising. Okay, Leon, Lillian X, Pincy Lola. All right, Nessa G, Bronze Flat Power God. Queen Asia. Is that what that says? Hold on. Let me put my glasses on. Queen Asia, Beautiful Earth. I think that's what that says. All right, beloved. Okay, Yvonne, let's get into it. Everybody hit that like button, like, share, subscribe. I see you, Latoya. Okay, so before we get into it, let's have a brief word from my sponsor. I see you, Damic 1212. Okay, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find her products at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil. Okay, so let's get ready to get back into it because you all know it's almost right after I finished the broadcast this morning, the NAACP, or it came out that the NAACP has joined Nolan Wells' family's legal team. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. Like so, everyone, here we go. So more than a month after Nolan Wells was found deceased on Horn Island, the NAACP has decided to join his family's legal team. Let's get into it. This case has drawn national attention, and people are combing through potential evidence and coming up with all kinds of theories. Please pay attention. They're reporting that misinformation and AI-generated videos and photos are making the investigators' jobs much more difficult. Okay, please pay attention. Quite frankly, what do they expect? Okay, when they're not being transparent and people want answers, they're going to go digging and looking for things themselves. And as it pertains to speculation, well, I'm sorry, but Sheriff Ledbetter was the first one to speculate when he came out and said, there's nothing to see here, folks. No evidence of foul play suspected. And it looks like just a simple accidental drowning. That was all pure speculation. The investigation hadn't even begun. He hadn't collected one shred of evidence. Okay, please pay attention. Kristen Clark, the general counsel of the NAACP, says they're taking up this fight to search for truth and transparency as it pertains to the death of Nolan Wells. She further goes on to say, drawing on the association's long history of pushing for full and fair investigations when Black lives are lost under suspicious circumstances, we will help bring additional investigative resources to bear and work to ensure that no stone is left unturned in seeking answers and accountability for Nolan's family. Okay, please. Pay attention. They mean business. Meanwhile, Derek Johnson, who's the president and CEO of the NAACP, says the world is watching and Nolan Wells' family deserves a thorough accounting for what happened. Okay, please pay attention. Goes on to say that too often the deaths of young Black people are dismissed, downplayed, or inadequately investigated until we start demanding answers. Further goes on to say that their involvement in this case is part of their commitment to make sure that those answers are pursued with urgency and respect for Black lives. Okay, please. Pay attention. NAACP's Office of the General Counsel says they're going to work with the family's legal team, including Ben Crump, to uncover facts and to push for transparency. Now, the Jackson County Sheriff's Department says that the investigation is open and ongoing. Please pay attention. Nolan would have turned 19 August the 19th. In his honor, they're going to be holding a national prayer rally August the 19th at 7 p.m., and this will be featuring Dr. Jamal Bryant. This event will be held at the Greater St. John AME Church at 551 Division Street in Biloxi, Mississippi. You know, I just have a sneaking suspicion that someone's going to crack real soon. Someone's going to start talking, just in my opinion. And not just because of the reward money, but somebody has it on their mind and heart to just come forward, because I just really think that it's weighing them down. The pressure is getting to be too much. And somebody eventually is going to crack. Okay, please pay attention. Somebody's going to snitch, y'all. Somebody is going to tell it. Okay. Please pay attention. I mean, we can see from the looks of Warren how it's taking a toll on him. He's not going to be the one to spill the beans, though. Okay, he's not going to be the one to spill the beans. Maybe it'll be Eric or Jax. Now, with that all being said, let's continue because here's what they further go on to say. They said the NAACP Office of General Counsel will work with attorneys for the family to push a thorough investigation and transparency in the process, per a release from the office. They say, we will be bringing our investigative resources to bear and my experience and expertise as a former prosecutor. Now, this is what the NAACP General Counsel, Kristen Clark, said, to make sure that we are leaving no stone unturned. All right, I want y'all to pay attention because this is serious business at the end of the day. And so that all being said, according to this information, this is going to bring about some legal muscle. Okay. Now, they say there is a major difference between an organization issuing a statement of support and actually becoming involved through its Office of General Counsel. The NAACP's legal operation is led by Kristen Clark, a veteran civil rights attorney who previously served as Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice. Now, the NAACP appointed Clark as its general counsel earlier this year as part of an expansion of the organization's legal advocacy capabilities. That means the Wells family potentially gains another layer of experienced civil rights attorneys capable of examining the investigation through a legal and constitutional lens. Now, they can scrutinize questions involving evidence, investigative procedures, transparency, equal treatment, civil rights, and governmental accountability. Okay, please pay attention. This is all going to bring some serious legal muscle to the game. Now, the NAACP had already been involved publicly before joining the legal effort. The Mississippi State Conference NAACP previously demanded an impartial and transparent investigation and called for the release of law enforcement records, witness statements, available video evidence, and autopsy reports. Then the NAACP's National Board opted a resolution calling on local, state, and federal authorities, including the Department of Justice, to conduct an in-depth and transparent review of the circumstances surrounding Nolan Wells' death. Now the organization's lawyers are joining the family's legal advocacy. And so that progression is very important, you all. Pay attention, because first came the questions, then came the public demands, then came the national resolution, and now comes additional legal firepower. Okay, it also means more people will be looking at the evidence. Now, when several experienced legal teams become involved, you already know how that goes, okay? Every piece of information can potentially receive additional scrutiny. The timeline can be examined. Witnesses' accounts can be compared. Phone records and digital evidence can be evaluated. Autopsy findings can be studied. Statements made by authorities can be compared with the underlying evidence as it becomes available. And inconsistencies can become the basis for additional questions. Now, that doesn't automatically prove that anyone committed a crime or that authorities engaged in wrongdoing. It means that there are now more experienced advocates whose job is to make sure unanswered questions are pursued rather than simply forgotten or, swept under the rug. You see, that distinction is extremely important. Please pay attention. And also, the timing is significant because the family's independent autopsy did not produce a definitive explanation for Nolan's cause of death, remember. Okay, its findings left the cause and manner of death undetermined pending further investigation. Now, mind you, they still had not sent the rest of the body parts to Dr. Mitchell, as was said in the letter that their attorneys sent out just days ago. Okay, so where's that and what's the holdup? Now, at the same time, members of the Congressional Black Caucus have been calling for federal involvement and an independent investigation. And they're still waiting on Trump to say something, I'm sure, because he's just trying to act like he doesn't hear anything. He doesn't see anything about this case. So when you put everything together, Ben Crump, the NAACP's legal team, national civil rights advocates, and congressional pressure for a federal review, Nolan's case is increasingly moving beyond the boundaries of a local Mississippi investigation, honey, and they can't stand it. I bet you they're all scrambling, running scared because they thought it was going to be so easy just to sweep this under the rug, okay, and then stomp on the lump that it left, and that would just be the end of it. But this has really gotten so huge, okay? This has gotten so huge. This is like a global story at this point. We have people from different countries even putting their comments online about what they think about it, okay? And now you have all this legal muscle joining. And also, let's not forget, see, here's the thing. People like to talk about Ben Crump and act like he's some race hustler, but Ben Crump puts in work. Let us not forget that some of his own attorneys are working on Carmelo Anthony's case for him to get a retrial, and they're doing so pro bono. Okay, please pay attention. That's why we can't be listening to the naysayers. Okay, some of these people out here that look like us sound just like MAGA, and that's really a shame. But anyway, I digress. So the Wells' family is no longer standing across the table from powerful institutions by themselves. Okay, they now have organizations and attorneys with national reach standing right beside them and behind them, asking some of the same fundamental questions. What happened to Nolan Wells? Okay, please pay attention. And the main question, does the evidence support the story that has been told? Because I don't think so. Was every reasonable investigative avenue pursued? Doesn't look like it. And if something doesn't add up, who's going to demand an explanation? Okay, just us? There has to be some level of accountability is all I'm saying. Okay, so the NAACP joining the legal effort absolutely is going to get us some of the answers that we've been waiting for. Okay, in my opinion. Now, like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Now, with that all being said, guess what? Don Lemon interviewed, he interviewed the president of the NAACP, Mr. Derek Johnson. I just happened upon that as I was starting up my live. I noticed that he was live as well. And we're going to listen to it and shout out to Don. It's always pertaining to the case. Hold on, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm sitting up here with my headphones on, and I heard a man say, "Hey, what did I tell you?" And I'm like, where the hell's that voice coming from? Okay, it was a different tab that I didn't realize I opened. Okay, so let's get ready for it. Durana says, "Facts, Queen. They're tired of them toothpicks keeping them eyelids open at night." Not toothpicks, beloved. You know you are so wrong for that. Okay, so let's get into it. We're just going to listen to a little bit of this. Okay, if you all want to watch the rest of it, y'all know where to find it. Okay, some of y'all are lemon heads anyway. Please pay attention. I know I am. Now, let's get into it. I'm going to put an overlay on this. For anybody that didn't catch what I just threw out when I said some of y'all are lemon heads anyway, and I know I am, that's what Don Lemon calls his people, for those of you that might be confused. But let's continue.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lemon Live. Why are you getting involved? Why is the organization getting involved?
I think it's important for the family and the community to get answers. The local officials, the state of Mississippi, have not been as transparent as they should have been. Now that we have Kristen Clark as our general counsel, who served as DOJ head of Civil Rights Division, she's familiar with the procedures that should be in place. We have strong relationship with retired law enforcement officers on the ground, and we need some transparency from our local officials and give the family some answers.
Yes, because quite frankly, they have been a little too tight-lipped about this whole thing, and then acting like they're annoyed when reporters ask simple questions. Remember that day with Ledbetter, how he was looking at that black reporter like he just wanted to slap her? Okay, like the nerve of her to question him. Pensulola says, "Teach that truth." Well, thank you, beloved. You know I will. Okay, and thank you for your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Mr. Elevation just gifted the channel 5 memberships. Shout out to you, beloved. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, you all show your gratitude and appreciation. Put some fire emojis in the chat for Mr. Elevation for purchasing those memberships, especially for those of you who will benefit from them.
There has been this narrative that was put out there, and I think they're trying to knock it down, which I believe was unfairly put out, saying that the family was somehow stonewalling investigators. But according to the letter, if you read the letter that they released this morning, they said, this is exactly what we agreed upon in July. And so, I don't understand why this information has been put out there. And that's all part of the investigation. What do you make of that?
There's more time been spent on deflecting the fact that there has not been a thorough investigation that the public have trust and believe in. If there's been a thorough investigation, great. If there's a grand jury where information is going to be provided, that's great. But at this juncture, local officials should not be deflecting what's really taking place. We're talking about a state with a history of not valuing African-American life. We're talking about a state that spent more time worried about the perception of its past as opposed to reconciling the current reality and doing what's necessary. A child never returned home. A child got on a boat with a group of friends. A child phone came back with a friend, and that child, the next time we see the child, he's unalive. There are some questions that need to be answered. We have a sheriff who made assumptions before an investigation was done based on the words of the individuals that child was with. This should not be the case. There needs to be a complete thorough investigation.
How does the NAACP getting involved help?
Well, it broadens the ability of individuals who are receiving information. We have a bigger net. I live in Mississippi, so there are some deep relationships there. You have the former head of the Department of Justice and Rights Division with experience in this background and deep contacts. So it allowed us, along with the Trump team, to try to assist the family in getting the necessary answers. Because apparently the state of Mississippi and local officials have not been as transparent as one would have liked them to be, or they're simply doing things that's out of the view and has lost the confidence of not only the family, but that community who has been affected.
You live in Mississippi, as you said. Can you understand if let's just say there is some hesitation, which I think there is, because they want a joint investigation. Otherwise, they would just say if they had confidence in the investigators, they may not do this. But this is standard procedure to have, a filter team go over to set parameters on what you can look for between a certain timeline and
Let me just tell you all something. First off, Penchalola says, Queen, you are deeply appreciated. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Okay, thank you for your contribution and your kind words. Peace, love, and blessings. Well, let me just tell you all something. So now it's been almost 2 months, right? And they still have not come back and given us any information. All they told us is that they're going to be releasing the information for review for the grand jury. And what I find interesting about that is the timing of it all. Because did you all bother to notice that they didn't come out and say anything about giving this information to the grand jury until after Ben Crump released the information from the independent autopsy? Did you all pay attention to that? Did you notice the timing of it all? Because I thought that was very important. You see, because for one, they were waiting to see what was going to come back from that autopsy report. Now, they figured, I'm sure, that it would be inconclusive or, undetermined, because they know what they kept, the throat and the lungs, okay, and other parts as well, but mainly those two. So they were likely hoping and thinking that's what it was going to come, and they just wanted to make sure, in my opinion. And so then once they did, they said, oh, yeah, let's just go ahead and send this all to the grand jury for review so we don't have to release anything to the public. Now, I do know that they said that's the common protocol there, but, they played with semantics, so to speak, because that's not the first thing you do. Okay, that's the last thing. Okay, that's like after the fact. So for them to be saying they're going to do that right after was very strategic of them. And that was just their way of not giving us access to anything. Now we can't tell y'all nothing. There's a pending investigation and we have to send all of this stuff to be reviewed by the grand jury. So y'all just have to sit back and wait and then wait some more. Another thing is, even after the grand jury reviews it, I'm willing to bet they're never going to release that autopsy report, okay? I just don't think they are. And I already told you all how they were planning or planning on giving, the flimsiest of evidence to the grand jury to avoid an indictment on any of those young men. That's just my opinion. Now, they may feel compelled, however, to go ahead and at least give them some of the information that would, cause someone to be indicted, because everybody's looking at them now. You see, we've ruined it for them. They already had it all planned out, in my opinion. Now, first of all, let me just give my disclaimer. Hold on. Let me just put up my disclaimer, honey. Okay, so and Ron says the leg hanging over the boat has sand on the foot. Either way, it's damaging evidence. Either Nolan was carried or there's the evidence no water was in the boat. Very interesting, beloved. And thank you for that insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. But you know what the funny thing is, beloved? They're not saying anything about that. They're acting like they don't see any of this stuff. And even with the audio now, the lawyer, Russell Latino, wants to come out and say that was doctored, like it's all fake. But no one else has said that. And until they can bring us conclusive proof given by a forensic analyst, okay, who looks into things such as that, I'm not believing anything they say. They need to sit down somewhere. Okay, because nothing but lies. They saw that video. They've seen the video with the leg hanging over the boat. They've seen the video with something popping up off the floor. They've seen all the videos that we've seen, because they're monitoring not only our social media, but everything else. And then, listen, here's the thing of it. They came out and said that all of this stuff, they said that there is fake videos. This is what they said. They said AI generated videos and AI generated photos. Okay, and they said that is misinformation. All this stuff being put out there is really just messing up the investigation or making it more hard for them. Why is it making it hard for you all? You all are right there in Ocean Springs. You should be going and knocking on doors and talking to everybody who was there that day and everybody who knows these young men and anybody who might have been a witness. That's what they should have been doing. Don't sit here and try to act like we're the problem, like we're holding up the investigation. Do you all see how they're trying to make us the fall guy, trying to make us the issue at the end of the day? Make it make sense. Because before this story got blown to the proportion that it is now at, they could easily have called all of those people in, questioned them in different rooms, like I said, play good cop, bad cop. Okay, they could have done a myriad of things. They could have started arresting people for underage drinking. They could have started demanding, tell us who gave you the alcohol, who bought it. Okay, where did y'all get these illegal substances from that we heard that they allegedly had? Okay, they could have done plenty of things. Why were you manning a boat while you had been drinking? BUI. They could have done plenty of things. They didn't do any of it. Now they want to sit here and act like we're the problem because we're speculating the same thing they did. Please. Views, opinions, allegations, and accusations expressed by guests, third parties, or commenters are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show or any of my other affiliate channels or social media accounts. Content is presented for commentary, discussion, reporting, and educational purposes. Discussion of an allegation does not mean the allegation is true or endorsed by this channel. All persons are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. Question is, are they even going to see a court of law? Okay, I have several questions. Let's continue.
All things, some things that may be privileged on the phone, some things that may not even, relate to what's happening. They want to make sure that that's out and they just don't have everything and start spreading rumors and stuff about Nolan Wells. So, I mean, I think that is pretty standard procedure. I'm not sure why people don't understand that. Maybe they're not steeped in the law. They just don't, deal with these things much. However, you could, coming from, I was about to say Louisiana because that's where I'm from Mississippi, can you understand the hesitancy, if there is, from this family to turn that phone over?
Well, the question around the phone is separate from the level of confidence that local officials have built with the family by communicating with them, being transparent with them, and allow them some level of insights. It is without question that the parents had nothing to do with the disappearance and then the discovery of Nolan Wells. But there is a lot to be desired in terms of all the people who last saw him. And the fact that the local officials was not open with the parents, not sharing progress, and pretty much shutting the parents out, that's why we at this juncture. How things proceed from now and the parents' hesitancy is all based on that initial 2 weeks and lack of communications with them to really build the type of trust and confidence that those investigating was taking this case serious and looking to figure out what exactly happened.
Do you Do you have an idea? I don't know if you want to articulate that about what you think happened or.
No, I mean, we're not here with any preconceived notion. If it was an accident, let's figure out. If this was an accident, this was happening. There's something more to it. Let's figure it out. So we don't come here with a preconceived notion of some type of foul play or cover up. We are saying this community, that family deserved answers. And that's why we are part of it.
I want to know what you think of the friends doing interviews and also not somehow, they're not even insinuating. One of them is saying that they're getting the treatment that they're getting. They're under the spotlight because of Nolan Wells' mom. Watch this.
Forget buying a brand new car and stop looking down at your phone for directions. You're about to get the smartest, most powerful AI co-pilot in the world right on your dashboard. Engineered by Ivy League PhDs and
So like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go, saying that he was out there with Warren and another guy. That's where it first started to take off. And then also the fact that she posted a picture of me and Morgan and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess.
It sounds so ridiculous talking about pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess. Sir, she put the picture out there because Warren lied and told her that her son was wearing black shorts. My question still is, why did he lie about what Nolan had on? It wasn't a mistake. He lied. Okay, that's what he did. Nolan had on light blue shorts. How could you confuse that with black? And then he later said, oh, navy blue or something like that, but they were clearly, or he said dark blue, something along the lines, but they were clearly light blue. Okay, there's no way he could have mixed that up. And he saw him all day, and they spent the night together. So please miss me with it.
I wish that would have never happened either. And I don't think those would have never happened. A lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or going all over the country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide news story that is just blown out of proportion.
It's not blown out of proportion. That's how you know he wasn't Nolan's friend for real. Okay, or if he was, he darn sure doesn't care that he's dead. So I would have to say he wasn't his friend in the first place. Because why would you say it's blown out of proportion? If it's your friend, your brother, your bro, somebody that you cared about, wouldn't you want everyone to be talking about it? Wouldn't you want it to be huge? So, but he's sitting there saying it's blown out of proportion. So he resents the attention. But here's the thing. Why is he sitting on that stage? Because nobody was really talking about him. Okay, please make it all make sense. Let's continue.
And the fact that it was our best friend and it's not what people are saying it is.
Okay, so you get it. They're saying
most.
his mom blasted them on social media. You're muted. Say, repeat.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Her son is dead. They were not forthcoming to explain what happened to him. He had been missing. She had been inquiring. No one told her anything. They came back with his cell phone, but not him. She's grieving. No one is giving her answers. No one is responding to what happened to my son. And so this concept that somehow they're now the victim because she's pursuing answers. They're now the victims because she raised the conversation. And the conversation is now a national and in many ways global conversations. You know, it is unfortunate that any mother will have to go through the exercise of saying, my son is missing. And it appeared as if no one was caring. And the last people he was with have a cell phone, but they are not providing any response to what happened to her child. They are not the victim. Her child is no longer with us.
I think it's odd because they're making it seem like, and I reported this last week, I said it on social media and I said it here, as if Christine Wansley Wells is on trial. She's not on trial. She lost her son. And if that is indeed your friend, and you may consider him your friend, okay, but that is indeed your friend, why are you blasting the mom? Why are you blasting his mother? I don't understand it.
Well,
do you think it's a good strategy for them, the lawyers, and for them to be doing this?
You know, to go on that show and to have those responses, was that coaching? Was that preparing for some type of legal to shift the blame, to shift the narrative, to take the attention off the fact that her son went on a boat with them, but he never returned. And no one is giving answers. And the explanation that's been provided doesn't seem as plausible. But maybe there is some plausibility to it, but that's why we need a thorough investigation to figure out.
I want to ask you about this. This content creator has been defending the young men and also, saying questionable things about the mom. Here it is.
Bombshell tonight in the Nolan Wells investigation. Tonight, the timeline seemingly blows up. This as Nolan's mother is investigated. Why? And tonight, possibly even more important, where is Nolan's phone?
Well, from my understanding, authorities do not have it, and the family have not been cooperating with authorities to give the phone over.
Brandon, you may very well be a lot smarter than me, but I can hear, okay?
Parents, get your kids durable, machine washable Skechers Glide Step.
Was we're prepared to cooperate, I guess, from Crump.
But it's best to have both cloud and the phone.
Okay.
To paint.
So he's been basically the interviewer. He's a far right-wing commentator who's in many people's eyes, and I don't even know if I need to qualify it that way, is anti-black, even though he's black. He's always defending, white folks and talking shit about black people. I don't know another way to put it. And it seems like he's doing that with this particular story because nobody knows what happened. He doesn't know what's going on, right? And nobody's, as you said, we have no preconceived, at least I do, no preconceived notions about whether the young men were involved. However, their strategy is very questionable. And I'm not sure who's advising them. I guess that their attorneys and their parents are advising them, but I think it's a bad strategy. But this, he says he's an ex-officer or whatever. What do you make of his performance and what he's been doing?
Well, I wonder who's paying him, or is this about clicks? And it's unfortunate. We are entering here.
Now, he's definitely getting paid. And let me just tell you all something. Did I show you all the receipt dates ago? I'm pretty sure I did. But, Judge Ashley Cole messaged him on social media. Did you all know that? I think I showed it to you, right? Please tell me I did. Yeah, she messaged him and she said, sent you a message, please check or please reply back or something like that. So why is she reaching out to him on social media? Because he's being paid for what he's doing with these interviews. They reached out to him because they knew that he'd be the perfect Negro to tell the story, to spin the narrative and all of that and try to control it. Look, everybody, it's a black man. He's even saying the guys didn't do it. Please pay attention. Sad thing is nobody listens to him, at least of all, not any black person with common sense.
Here to try to be a part of a solution, to help the parents get answers, to allow that community to understand what took place. For all we know, this could be a complete accident and people are panicking and if that's the case, let's show that. Whatever the case is, we should all be lining up to pursue answers for that community and the family. And not point fingers, particularly if for some of the people who've been commentating on social media, they've never been to the community or into Mississippi. So right. The question is this about clicks or is this about someone paying him?
Hey,
Derek G. Johnson. Derek, thank you. And I'm sure you're prepared to carry this.
Rage Batum Tatum has clearly been paid, honey. We already know. Listen. If we didn't know, now we know. Okay, we saw the verdict, his liquor brand. We saw it in the background. Okay, we saw it in the background of the attorneys. So yeah, definitely in cahoots. He's got to get something out of the deal. That's what he has to do. So with that all been said, let's continue. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Now I happen to see this video. Hold on. Let's go to Rage Batum Tatum when he was on Cuomo. Let me tell you all something. It almost made me literally gag. It was so cringe. Now, he sat here, Tatum, that is. He had the nerve to sit up there and say that he teared up for Nolan. I almost teared up. Please sit down somewhere. Okay, he's the same person who said Nolan's toxicology report was going to show about 1,000%, according to his reliable source that he claims told him there was going to be illegal substance in his system. And he the one that said that he was drinking heavily or something like that was going to show up and all this stuff. But now he almost teared up. This man is so fraudulent.
I don't know who. Nolan is not alive to tell us, but I find it more believable on his side than their side. And I'm gonna tell you why. It wasn't until I think that Tracestin distanced himself from the racial component in this situation that all of a sudden he's no longer even associated with Nolan. And I can't, it's very hard for me to, he tells me the class that they met each other in. I just don't see him lying. I just don't see him lying about it. I can see parents and
Tracestin has motivations to say and do anything these people ask him to. We'll get to that momentarily.
now let me give the parents a side. If you're not very in tune with your kids, you may not know who their friends are. You don't think they're friends. You don't engage with them. They don't come to your house often. But to Nolan, when he's not at home, he's engaging with these young people and he's very friendly with them. I find it also.
We can't speak for Nolan, and that doesn't mean that they were his friends. Okay, we all know that. Specifically, Black people know that some people, just because we deal with them or whatever, they're just what we consider to be associates, co-workers, colleagues, and things like that. Doesn't mean that they're our friend. Who does he think he is trying to speak for Nolan and trying to act as though Nolan knew they were his friends just because his parents didn't, because they weren't in tune with him? He doesn't know what kind of information Nolan shared with his parents. Okay, that's what he doesn't know. So he needs to stop speculating. The same thing he accuses everyone else of doing, mind you.
So interesting that the parents act like Warren and them weren't his friends. And Warren and his parents are like, let me tell you this, Chris. Nolan's mother went to school with Warren's stepmother.
And what's his point? Because that doesn't mean they were friends or buddy-buddy. I went to school with people that I never spoke to then and wouldn't speak to now. So what's his point? They
went to school together. She have all these pictures in the yearbook and them in all her classes. They went to school together. They knew each other to a certain degree. And the mom is saying she don't know any of these people. And the parents, when I met them, they were all emotional about Nolan. And they said, Nolan he's over our house all the time. We love Nolan. I mean, they cried. One of the mothers cried.
Now he's putting it on just too darn thick. Do you all hear this BS? Do you all hear this? He needs to sit down somewhere, honey. This is all crazy. This is all crazy. Hold on. I'm trying to read some of these comments. Yeah, Warren made it plain and clear that officer put the videos out of the boat and all that he made it clear. I picked that up immediately. Exactly. Okay, with their lying selves. I just got to the chat. Queen, did you see the message I posted on your YouTube about the second fight in Nolan? No, I didn't, beloved. I sure didn't. Sorry. All crazy. Let's continue.
When she talked about Nolan. And so it's kind of interesting that, like, all the parents are saying that they love Nolan and he's always there and they vouch for his character. And they have pictures with Nolan everywhere. Nolan spent the night at their house and Nolan went out to Horn Island with them for the second year in a row.
Well, look, here's one thing we know for sure. And you mentioned this earlier. This was a good kid. You got to give credit to his parents. You got to give credit to his extended family, his teachers. They had a good one here. This kid had good grades. He was a college athlete, and everybody, not just because he's dead, because there could be people who just wouldn't say anything or would say it differently, right? I mean, you and I have both seen plenty of situations where a young person dies and it's under curious circumstances and they weren't a saint. And maybe they didn't deserve what happened to him either, but there's a mix. Not with this kid. Everybody unfailingly says, and you see it in the videos of him dancing with staff at the school and stuff like that. And, you know, people wanted to be around him. They liked him. This was a good kid.
This kid, and this is why it bothers me so much, because this kid was an exceptional human being. Like, I was tearing up multiple times talking to these boys. We went out to Horn Island on a boat. They were emotional and saying this was Nolan's favorite song. They played songs that Nolan loved going out on a boat to Horn Island. These boys were tearing up. That's my conflict. I don't.
A lie doesn't care who tells it. All right, doesn't care who tells it at all. Okay, beloved, I was trying to find your comment, but I didn't see it. I didn't have time to scroll really. I looked through a few. But anyway, Tatum, please sit down somewhere, okay? Please sit down somewhere. Now, this is what I thought was interesting. Now, I'm going to play just a snippet of this video. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I want you all to pay attention because why did he start laughing? And that's Morgan. After he made this comment, he kind of smirked a little bit, like sort of a chuckle, if you will. Please pay attention. Now, watch what he says. I'm not going to put the overlay because I want you all to see his face. Watch this.
We loved him dearly. So,
Is he talking about Nolan? Was he talking about Nolan? He said we loved him dearly. Why was he sitting up there smiling like he wanted to laugh?
Happy Sabbath. Did y'all see that? For all y'all be in my inbox talking about he drowned. Did you see the face on them? Keep talking about that boy is his best friends and brother and shit. I'm believing. Come down, Most High. I'm believing that that's a code word for some shit. Because they talking about, that's my best friend, my brother. But then when the boy said we all loved him, they all the other two was looking like they was looking at him like, you putting too much on. Okay, let me tell you something. This is my heart of hearts. It's not a race thing with me. I'm talking about the character of them. I don't give a damn if it was. Okay, I don't. I'm talking about me. Okay? Lit. You know how somebody will size you up? Like people that keep snakes. And the snake get big, okay? I can speak from my brother's perspective on this. He used to keep snakes. He don't keep them no more because I'm finna tell you this story. And the damn snake get big. He petting him and oh yeah, it's snake, but it's a snake, okay? Oh yeah, he can lay with you and you get big and big, and then he size your ass up. And then, oh, let's go. You understand? Ask people that keep big ass snake. When they size you up, they finna eat your ass. This is what happened to Nolan Wells, in my opinion. Them is frenemies. Them is associates. Them not his friends.
Exactly. Talk about they loved him dearly? No, they didn't say dearly. Songwriter Sonny said, who is she sexy for? Hold on. Is she in the comments? It's Truth Brown in the comments because that's who that was. That was Truth Brown. I hope she's in the comments to see what you just said about her. Talk about who is she sexy for? I don't think she's in here. But you know I'm going to tell her, right? Essential Oil Queen said, just because the parents said they love Nolan doesn't make it true. Thank you. Also, anybody can fake tears tearing up my arse. Okay. This is why Tatum is so stupid, because he acts like everything that they tell him is the gospel. He acts like everything that they say has to be 100% accurate. They wouldn't tell a lie. But he don't believe anything the black people say. Please pay attention. What are y'all laughing at, me? But Essential Oil Queen, thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved. And that's a good point, okay? And thank you for your contribution. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Songwriter Sonny is something else. But let's continue. Now, we're about to get up out of here because y'all not going to have me on here all night. Just so y'all know, I haven't had a bite to eat all day. Now, let's go back to where they talk about Rage Baden Tatum's bourbon. Okay, because Sam had something to say about it. Like, everyone, please like and share. Yeah, his parents are suffering. Absolutely. Okay, and then they want to sit here and call these people liars and all of that.
Sam here with a Nolan Xavier Wells update, and something I found very interesting with Trent Out Loud broke this, but we're breaking it a little bit further, is that if you look in the background of Brandon Officer Race Batum Tatum's podcast, you see a liquor bottle that says verdict. And further, you see a sign in the background that says verdict, right? It's a little cute court theme, guilty, not guilty. What's the verdict? Get it? And let's not forget, he loves cheeses and America too. Anyway, I'm digressulating, but then in Tyler Cox, the big old Cox lawyer, if you look in the background of his Nancy Grace interview, he too has a bottle of verdict. Weird. Now, Trent Out Loud put these two little beeps together. It's a connection. Why would they both have the same liquor bottle in the background? Are they working together? Allegedly. Are they drinking together? Allegedly. We're not sure, but what we do know is that verdict is Brandon Race Batum Tatum's liquor. Why? Verdict Reserve Spirits LLC. Verdict Reserve Spirits. It is a bourbon. I guess they all have a drink together after race baiting the hell out of a nation. They're like, hey man, we really got them good. We really comforted all that white fragility, man. We really ignored American history. Okay, let's take another shot of ignorance. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Secret Service Sam Out Samson for president.
Not a shot of ignorance. Honey, if they were giving out shots of ignorance, I'm sure Tatum took 2 or 3. Please pay attention. Okay, absolutely nefarious. Absolutely nefarious. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. Because listen, I want y'all to pay attention to something. I'm trying to find this other super chat somebody said I missed. I don't see it. Hold on, let me look on my phone. I hate to miss y'all super chats. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. We're almost at the finish line. Just a few more clips to show. Okay, just a few more. I don't see it. Whoever super chat that was, I missed. I'm sorry, beloved. Okay, I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings, though. I'll see it after the broadcast. I can't scroll for it right now. It's not allowing me to. It's getting stuck. Okay, so but here's what I want to talk about. Let's get into it. Okay, because here's the thing. Now, I was wondering why Tracestin got up there, okay, acting like a little baby raccoon. That's what he acted like, sitting up there with Rage Batum Tatum and denounced his own black family, right? And then said that down here in Ocean Springs, we stick together. They don't know who they're messing with. You know why he said that, y'all? Y'all know why he said that? I'm so glad y'all asked, because you see, he owes a debt. Yeah, he owes a debt. Sure does. And here's why. First of all, turns out that fight that they all had, that they were party to, yeah, Carter was defending Tracestin. Yeah. And you know, sometimes loyalty is the payment. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
Got into the altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in the altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it.
After the fight, I didn't stay on her island much longer. So the objective, I was really upset. So with you hearing me yelling, my uncle told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. Obviously, I was really mad and I wanted to fight, wanted to get off. Wasn't smart, man. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling, and shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got into a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions, that they were ready to get me back to land because I was really mad. I was genuinely really mad.
Describe that. That's kind of interesting. What was that about? He was just very hostile. Like he was just like really like mad. Like they were trying to, like the parents on that boat were trying to get him out.
Now here's a scene that I've been talking about, and there's the guy in the red shorts, and I believe the guy that is being whisked away could be Warren's brother. And in this footage, you will see a possible parent right here not letting him on the boat. So when I seen this and heard that, it clicked. Could this be what they're talking about? The problem is I don't see Tracestin or his girlfriend. So who is this kid?
Me and my girlfriend, I wouldn't even call it an argument. She was upset that I lost the lid to her koozie. I dropped it in the water. And I dropped her new koozie in the water. And so she started to let me hear it, and basically told me I was paying for it, and she was really upset with me and mad about it, and I needed to kind of sober her up a little bit. And so we're walking back, and during that time, this guy that I'm not friends with, I know of him, I don't know him, I didn't even recognize him when I got in an original fight. He had butted himself into my conversation, and basically was telling me how I needed to handle or address the situation with my girlfriend. And man, we weren't even yelling at each other, we weren't arguing. It was more along the lines of, I literally told her, I was like, man, I just want beer. And she was like, well, go get one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I said that, she ducked her in the water, and he had walked up, and he told me that I needed to watch how I talk to my girlfriend. And I looked at him and I told him, I was like, this has nothing to do with you. We're good. This has nothing to do with you. And he sat there and he was like, well, I'm gonna tell you, I better not hear it again. And I looked at him and I was like, you need to excuse yourself from the situation. And after I came out, he swung. He threw the first punch. And we went back and forth. I remember at one point in time, I look over and I see my uncle, and my uncle's yelling at me to get in the boat. I stopped fighting. As soon as me and him made eye contact, I got an uncle. I got in the boat, I'm sorry.
And what was Warren's brother's involvement in this?
And so I was getting there. So when I'm on the boat and they're trying to cool me down, I'm trying to get back off the boat. So I see the crowd forming up on the island. Well, my little brother and Carter are like really good friends, like best friends, I would say. He's over at our house all the time. Carter heard him still talking crap as he's getting out of the water, and I'm on the boat, and the situation is like done and over with, right? Well, he sees him talking crap, so Carter gets up, and more along the lines of defending me. And for what? He was like, well, if you got a problem with Tracestin, we can handle it right here.
So in one case, someone wants to get off the boat, and the younger boy wants to get on the boat. Was it in the water or on the shoreline? Because we have videos of both. The question is, which one involved them, because they're not featured in any. Or at least I can't tell. Maybe you can. Do you see them? This is the most recent video claiming it to be from the 4th, and you can see what's going on in the water. So 2 in the water, 1 on the shoreline. And the time is 3:30.
Okay, and the time is 3:30. Okay, they made the call to Cito at about 4 o'clock, stayed on there for about 8 minutes. Okay, say they left at 4:31. Please pay attention. Now, beloved, I was looking for your comment. You said look for the newest comment. I don't know if you're talking about on this video or the last video, so I'm confused. I couldn't find it nonetheless. But so here's the thing. Let me just tell you all why Tracestin, now it all makes sense, because look at how Tracestin got up there on Rage Batum Tatum's show and confirms and went along with everything that Warren said. And now he's nowhere to be found, because now Warren doesn't need him. He's got Jackson Morgan, okay, who might be trying to get a Netflix deal or some sort of series for all we know. But anyway, no, it's on your community. Oh, okay, beloved. Okay. Now, so with that all being said, I find it all very interesting, because here's the thing. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Likes up, everyone, please. A like and share. Let me just look really quick for something. This better be some juicy information, beloved. Let me see here. Okay. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Okay. I don't see it, beloveds. At least I don't, what I'm reading, I don't think this is it. I see something about the judge, though. I see a comment about the judge I'll look into. Okay, so anyway, here's my thing. Let's talk about it, because for one, as I was saying, okay, so this explains to me while Tracestin was sitting there talking about down here in Ocean Springs, we stick together, because Carter was defending him. Okay, so he's going to show his debt of loyalty to him. So when someone steps in to defend another person during a fight, the relationship between those two people can absolutely change dramatically. How close were they before that? Now, mind you, he did say, Tracestin that is, that his little brother and Carter are good friends. So that's likely why he stepped in, clearly. But you see, the person who was defended may be thinking he had my back when things got bad, so now I have to have his. Now, that feeling can become especially powerful in a situation where the defender took a serious risk, like, for example, could have gotten injured, faced discipline, even been arrested, or damaged their own reputation. But in this case, what did we hear about the situation? We heard Carter got his butt beat. We heard he got his RS handed to him because he got into it with some MMA fighters. Isn't that what they said? And so the person who benefited may feel that simply saying thank you isn't enough, which would be Tracestin. They might even believe that they owe the person protection in return. Okay, and protection, mind you, doesn't always mean another physical confrontation. Now, it can absolutely mean keeping quiet, refusing to discuss something that happened, defending the other person's character, repeating their version of the events. Okay? In other words, vouching for them when other people might be questioning their actions or trying to figure out what the hell really happened or what went on. Now, this is basically like an unspoken rule as it pertains to this. You had my back, so now I have yours. I mean, because we all know that in close friendships, loyalty can operate almost like an unwritten contract. Okay, the kind that they clearly didn't have with Nolan, while they're all sitting up there talking about they were his best friends and he was like their brother. The only one that I'll believe that about ever is Jay Vaughn. Okay. Now, so anyway, back to Tracestin. I feel like this is probably why he went and sat up there on that couch with Rage Bed and Tatum and turned on Nolan's own mother. Because if he was really such good friends with Nolan, why would you disparage his mother? Why would you call her a lie? And then sit there and talk all the trash about the people that are trying to help her get justice for her son. Blaming it all on Ben Crump and Al Sharpton. That's what he did. He was trying to show his allegiance to these folks, and nobody's going to convince me of anything other than that. That's why he sat up there and acted like a baby raccoon. Okay, that's why he denounced his own black folk, acting like they mistreated him and did him so dirty. That's exactly why right there, in my opinion. Okay? Now, if someone stood beside you when everyone else backed away or was looking at you crazy, you may just feel morally obligated to return that loyalty at some point later. Right? And that's exactly what it was. And not to mention, they're from this little small town of Ocean Springs. We already know that he said they stick together. And we already know that Warren said it's close-knit or tight-knit. Small town social networks can absolutely intensify those types of dynamics because, you see, relationships frequently overlap. Okay, a friend of a friend of a friend and mutual friends and all of that and different friend groups who all hang together sometimes. Now, the same people may have grown up together, attended the same schools, played on the same teams, dated within the same social circles. We already know they've done that because Jack's already talked about it with Rage Bait Tatum. Okay, worked with connected families or known the other parents, known each other's parents for years. Funny thing is, he didn't seem to know Mrs. Christine Wansley, Nolan's mother, okay, whom he claimed was his best friend and brother. All right, but families may have friendships or business relationships stretching back generations. So yeah, absolutely. In these little small towns, the politics can absolutely lead to people sticking by each other, defending one another, and even having mutual secrets, okay, which makes their bonds even stronger. Situation can become more complicated when both people know potentially damaging information on each other too. Wonder what they know about Tracestin, because I'm pretty sure Tracestin absolutely knows something about them. I mean, that's just my opinion. So anyway, now the next thing I want to go to doesn't have anything to do with the Nolan Wells case, but I think it's important to show you all this because this white lady seems to think playing the victim card is the way to go. Now I want you all to pay attention because don't they love to, the maggots, don't they love to say that we're playing the victims? This lady, if you ask me, needs to pull herself up by her bootstraps. Let's get into it.
Matter. And if you have an issue or a problem with me saying that, I truly do not give one flying rat's ass. Go be a troll and argue with somebody in the comments about it. I am not the one. I am sick of the violence that's happening to white people all over the damn world. I'm sick of the very blatant racism right towards white people. And again, nothing is being done about it. And then you got people up here saying whites can't experience racism. Miss me with that bullshit. As a white person, I'm also getting really damn sick and tired of being expected to feel guilty over something that I had absolutely zero to do with or zero control over. And as somebody who is white, I need to see more of my fellow white people sticking up for themselves.
Okay, I'm going to white-splain this to you. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now. Yes, white lives matter.
Obviously, because their lives. That's not some profound statement. The problem is your context, because you're not saying white lives matter because white people are being systemically ran over in America. You're saying it as a reaction to black people saying, stop killing us, and then acting like it was a technicality or a paperwork issue. Black Lives Matter never meant only Black Lives Matter. That's how you snowflakes heard it. And you're sick of violence against white people all over the world? Okay, which violence? Because in America, the data does not say that white people are being uniquely hunted. Most violent crime against white people is committed by other white people, and most violent crime by black people is committed by other black people. You can Google that yourself, though. That's not a conspiracy. That's geography. People usually hurt people that are close to them. And when we talk about hate crimes, yes, anti-white hate crimes exist. But the largest race-based hate crime category in the FBI's database is still anti-black. You can look that one up yourself too. So when you skip that piece and then jump straight to the white victimhood, you're not telling the truth, you're stripping it for parts. And the guilt thing, nobody is expecting you to feel guilty. Grow up. I'm white. I don't wake up every morning riddled with guilt. What people are asking is that we simply understand history and recognize systemic issues. So stop treating comprehension as an attack on your troubled white American life. And you were not responsible for what dead people did before you were born, but you are responsible for what you defend and excuse and ignore and repeat while you're alive. So yeah, white lives matter. But if you only say it when black people ask not to be treated as disposable humans, then your argument isn't about equality. It was about your resentment hiding behind a very flimsy moral disguise. And remember, I'm not the dark left. Together, we're the dark left.
Okay, sitting there trying to play the victim. Sitting there trying to play the victim. I find it all so interesting. Okay, talk about white people having violence inflicted upon them all over the world. Where? When? Who? Why? I'm sorry, I could have sworn it was the other way around. That's what I could have sworn. I mean, it's the nerve. So she's oppressed, is what she wants us to think. Yeah, they're oppressed. Well, who's oppressing them? They're oppressing themselves because they're the ones in power. Okay, make that make sense. I have not seen anything so foolish, okay, in a good while. Anyway, with that all being said, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, let's move right along. Hold on, I just saw a comment. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Yeah, Tracestin has to pay off his debt. Okay, wonder how long they're going to have him bowing down and boot licking. So anyway, with that all being said, someone said Taylor House Publishing was showing a video about them trying to steal the black people's land down there in Mississippi. Yes, absolutely, right there in Ocean Springs. I reported on that about 3 weeks ago. And then I had a resident of Ocean Springs come on here and talk about that too. I mean, they even tried to take his business. These people are nefarious, but they want us to think Ocean Springs, everybody's just so nice and sweet. It's just a lovely place to live. Yeah, I guess it is if you're not black. Okay, I guess it is if you're not black. They do the black folks dirty down there unless you're somebody that acts like Tracestin or Rage Batum Tatum. Then you might get a few, trinkets. But that's only going to last for so long. Now let's talk about this professor, the youngest black professor at Cambridge, who is no longer with us. Because guess what? Just as I figured, who do you think started up the firestorm that led to his demise? Well, it was not somebody who looked like him, as I'm pretty sure we all could have guessed. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
Arde was found dead in his home in Battersea. He was Cambridge University's youngest ever black professor. But what the British press isn't so keen on showing you is who lit the match that started the campaign to hound him out of office. Meet Nathan Kofnas. He's a self-declared race realist, or what academics call a scientific racist, which is a polite way of saying, oh, he's an absolute cunt. He got fired from Cambridge for arguing that in real meritocracy, black professors would approach 0%. Yeah, you're going to want to hear this one. Coffney published his first book through the Ulster Institute for Social Research, which is run by a guy called Richard Lynn. Who is Richard Lynn? Well, he was a self-described racist who sat on the board of something called the Pioneer Fund, a group whose first act in 1937 was to distribute a Nazi eugenics film to American schools, which is quite bad. But Kofnas has gone further. He co-authored papers for the London Conference on Intelligence, which is essentially a meetup for fans of eugenics. Are you starting to get the picture now? I already got fired from Cambridge for peddling similar views. And when he went to a Belgian university, 300 staff and students protested his hiring. And when he went and wrote another one of his scientifically racist rants in an academic journal, it was so bad, the editor of the journal resigned. Not only that, Coffey has said Jewish people are genetically smarter than everybody else, while black people are genetically behind. But weirdly, none of that seemed to be included in the 249 articles in 22 days written about Jason Arde. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Oh, one more thing. Cambridge's own procedure on investigating plagiarism takes around 4 months to conclude. And in one case, a Cambridge professor who stole more than half of his students' work took 2 years to wrap up, and he kept his job. But the Arde saga, that took 12 days. But then again, the press wouldn't want you to ask these sorts of questions, would they? Questions like, why wasn't there the same level of scrutiny for the accuser as the accused? Why was a man who is known to use pseudoscience to denigrate black people have such a bee in his bonnet over a black professor from the same university he was fired from? And why, oh why, were the press so happy to run with the story? The mind just boggles, doesn't it? You've seen this.
Okay, we already know the answer to that. That is so low down and dirty, honey. The devils are always lurking, trying to bring you down, okay? I mean, that's no different than when they took away the crown from Vanessa Williams when she was Miss America, okay? They had all the pleasure in doing so because she was black. And that's why they did that. The youngest black professor. Now, with that being said, let's go to this next clip because I don't know why some black people don't pay attention and do what the rest of us have all decided to do collectively. But for some of them, they still want to go and shop with the Asians and they continue to get disrespected. Wow, shocker. Then they want to come to the internet like we're supposed to care. Well, I don't. Now, let's take a look. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I mean, some of them just don't learn.
$8.50.
Okay.
I give you this one, $99. I have price is $10.
Okay, so this is 19, right?
Uh-huh.
This is 16, right? This is the exact same hair, right?
I know, I understand what
So
you
why
said.
would
Your point?
So why wouldn't you give me the $16.99 price for both?
Listen,
I'm listening to
you. You want me to give you this price?
Because that's the price that's up there.
Yeah, that's why I said I give you this price for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I give you this price, this one. That's fair, right?
No, because it's the same hair.
I
Right.
understand same hair.
Why wouldn't it be the same price?
Yeah, but I don't know which one is the right price.
So why not give me the one that's $2 cheaper?
You see, that's what the customer want, a low price.
Why not?
Hey, look here, oh my gosh, that's the same hair.
So you know what? It's okay. Keep your $2, and now you just lost 100. You have a good day. Yeah, they are crazy. Oh, you just lost more money when you could have just charged.
So $8.
Okay, and that's what she gets. Okay, why did you go there in the first place? Okay, you could have gotten the hair from a black-owned beauty salon or beauty supply store. That's what you could have done. Could have ordered it online from a black person as well. But honey, you chose to go there, and that's what you got. Okay? Yeah, some of them just don't learn. How many times we have to tell y'all? Okay, it's crazy. Now she's sitting up there looking goofy and had to leave out without her hair. Okay, Ebony says that UK brother got railroaded just like Carmelo Anthony. Absolutely. That's how they do, beloved. That's how they do. Racism exists all over the world, honey. They hate on black people everywhere we go, whether it's to or fro. Okay, and thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings. Speaking of Carmelo Anthony, he's going to reign victorious. Okay, please pay attention. He's going to get a second trial, and this time he's going to get off with self-defense because that's what it was. Okay, that's what it was. And the devils knew that's what it was. But here's the thing. The same thing applied in the Carmelo Anthony case that applies in the Nolan Wells case. Small town politics and Southern fried justice. These people down there, they all know each other, work together in cahoots and unison, and to do all kinds of BS to us. And oh, let me just say this. I heard someone trying to copy my vernacular the other day, and they said, they were trying to say, because I said that they work together in tandem. So they tried to say that, and they said they work together in tangents. Say what? They work together in tangents? Okay, please make it all make sense. I mean, if you're going to copy my talking points, you could use at least your own vocabulary, right? You don't have to say the exact words that the queen uses, especially when you don't even know how to use them correctly and don't even know what they mean. I'm not even going to say who I'm talking about because y'all already know who it is. With that all being said, ooh, honey, some people just tickle me. Hold on. There is one more thing I want y'all to see because this black lady, I think she's an immigrant. But honey, she was going off about her generational wealth. She said none of her kids better not marry outside of their race and ruin what she worked 40 years to build. Let's get into it. Like up, everyone, please like and share. Greta, you already know who it is. Stop playing games. Stop. So they work together in tangents. Let's continue.
Under my trust cannot even marry outside of their race. Otherwise, they will not get access to my generational wealth. Because imagine spending 40 years working on changing the trajectory of the finances of your generation. Okay, that means my kids, and then one of your kids marries somebody and they take that whole wealth away. All of your hard work just gone because they decided to marry for love that they thought, and then somebody takes that away.
And we see that quite often.
Thank you.
Many of us, especially our sports players,
Come on.
you know, it's almost like marry this community so we can get the money back in there.
But you know what? It's so funny too. I'm even thinking about, you know, what Sunset says, and I know to some people that may sound super offensive, but even I believe, I don't know if I'm recollecting properly, but I believe there's stories like that in the Bible where, you know, when people married who they weren't to marry, there were consequences and side effects of that.
Yes.
Maybe you forfeited your inheritance in whatever way. So I mean, it sounds harsh, but I mean, it's the foundation.
What do y'all think? Y'all think it sounds harsh? I don't think it sounds harsh at all. Because here's why. Even if you're in love with someone who's not of your own race, I can guarantee that 9 times out of 10, there's some people in their family that don't like people who look like you. Now, I'm not saying the person that you marry, but I'm saying I can guarantee you there's somebody in their family who doesn't like people who look like you. It could be their mother, their father, their sibling, whomever. And if they get left with your generational wealth, honey, people who don't even like you spending your cash, please, I couldn't fathom it. I absolutely see exactly what she's talking about. That's all I'm saying. And listen, I can assure you that when white folk marry black folk, they think and do the same thing. I know a white guy that I knew since 4th grade, went to high school with him and everything. He always liked black women in high school, honey. Everyone he dated was black. Sure was, but then when he got older, he married a white woman because his family has a whole lot of money. And I guarantee you he wasn't going to give it to no black person. Okay, please pay attention. Okay, so I'm sorry, but what's good for the goose is always going to be good for the gander, at least in my opinion. Okay, but see, I don't have to make those types of decisions. All right. Now, that all been said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Oh, hold on. One more thing I want to show you all. How these low down, dirty officers did this black woman. It was not even called for. Okay, this was just low down for no reason, honey. Check this out. I don't know what they thought she had in her laundry basket, but to dump her clothes that she just laundered out on the darn street and throw her basket.
Oh, dang, there's a poor basket. Does she have anything? Wow.
Honey, let me tell you something. I would have gotten in my car and drove off and left her right there, honey. Y'all just littered.
A viral social media video showing Buffalo police officers searching a woman's laundry basket, dumping her clothes onto a public street, and driving away has sparked widespread public outrage. The footage, which has been widely shared across multiple online platforms, captures the moments leading up to and following the unconventional search, which concluded with no arrests being made. The video begins by capturing multiple Buffalo police officers actively going through a laundry basket belonging to an unidentified woman. Officers are seen sifting through the basket.
Coming back from laundry, she went to do laundry. They stopped on her way from laundry, got her basket, took it out, dumped it on the ground, then got in a car and drove off. Like I said, it doesn't matter what these men do. They're still better.
Low down, dirty devil. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Just to be low down and dirty to try and humiliate somebody? Dirty devil. I would have called him I'm not even going to say what I would have called him. but I sure would have. Please pay attention. Okay, so anyway, all so nefarious. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Listen, I'm about to be out of here, beloveds. But y'all know I'll be back. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. One more video to show you all. Now, a Karen was at a sporting event and her child was losing. So what does Karen do? She comes out there and stops it. Hold on. But listen to what happens. Hold on. Let me see if I can pause this. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I got to show y'all this. These people are out here tripping real hard.
Protect your child because their kid is losing.
Now this is a wrestling match for children. Look at it.
Back up.
She came on the mat and grabbed the kid.
Who did?
She grabbed our kid.
Who did?
That's what the young lady.
Kid like that. I swear. That's what the ref is for. Don't touch no kid. Hey, stop. Hey, we got it. Take a one at a time. Yeah, but you don't want to keep moving forward.
I'll talk to you. Okay. Yeah. I guess she didn't mean it, but she came on the mat, which shouldn't have been done.
I understand it. Okay, but we can't have people keep getting aggressive.
Did y'all hear that? He said the black parents are being aggressive because the white woman grabbed their kid. And he doesn't say nothing to the white woman who was actually the aggressor. That's how you know whatever little town this is racist as hell. Just the fact that that woman thought she could put her hands on the...
Baby, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you right now, if that had been my child, baby, she would have got a whole 2-piece and a biscuit. That's what she would have got. She would have got a whole 2-piece and a biscuit. Unhand my child, you brutes. Okay, she would have got a whole 2-piece and a biscuit, okay? I wouldn't give a darn about any charges at that point because, honey, okay, first of all, it's self-defense. Don't put your hand on my child, okay? You were attacking him as far as I'm concerned. Ooh, honey, did y'all see it? And then he had the nerve to say, we can't have everybody getting aggressive. The only one that got aggressive was Karen. I like his nerve. Okay, Ashkan said, let that child alone. Exactly. Mr. Bob the cat thing said, not the biscuit. Yes, honey, a 2-piece and a biscuit. Okay. That's what I would have done, honey. You think I'm gonna let that ride? Why are you putting your hand on my child at all? Period. Don't try it. Ooh, honey, I'm so glad that I didn't encounter some of these Karens, honey, when my children were growing up, because I promise you, it would not have been nice. Okay, it would not have been nice. Well, I did encounter a Karen one time, and I already told y'all that story. Karen called the cops on me, and I called the cops on Karen. Okay, we both called the cops. All right, sit down somewhere. How do you want to play the victim? I can play the victim real good, too. Officer, I don't know why she did such a thing. That's what you hit him with. Okay, they want to start crying, crocodile tears. You crying, too. Sit down somewhere, Karen. Okay, you think you're going to send the queen to jail? You varmints. These people are something else, right? Natasha said, what the hell? Okay, that's right, Nick. Endanger the welfare of a minor. That is an arrestable offense. Exactly. So if you give someone a 2-piece and a biscuit for putting hands upon someone's child that isn't theirs, I'm sorry. Is that really a crime? Because y'all know I don't condone violence unless and only if you're defending yourself or someone else. Okay? With that all being said, Natasha said, yes, you should be jailed, okay? Anywho, I'm out of here. All right. I love y'all to life. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of this evening. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Oh, yeah, I'm on your ass. I just got to know. What up with that audio? Well, we not gonna stop. No, no, we won't go. I'm hugging your parents in spirit. Yeah. case and we demand answers. Oh, they expose. The real queen of receipts, dropping. Oh, and we got your back. Somebody gon' talk. Hell yeah, the ancestors walking. I'm so serious. Queen on the case. Oh, they asking full-blown panic now. They trying to shut us down, close our mouth. But I just want damn that. Well, we not gon' stop. No. I'm hugging your parents in spirit, yeah. Know that we on this case and we demand answers. Oh, they expose. What happened to you? We tied. You don't get the all my kids ain't cover it up. I said, show yourself, yeah. Steady talking about they was his friends. I said, show up and talk if that's the case. Hold on, Nolan, it's coming to the light. Yeah, the queen on the case. Hold on, Nolan, we won't give up. Rest in his peace. We all love you. No. Nolan. Well, we not gon' stop. No. We won't go. I'm hugging your parents in spirit. We on this case